1. There's no close-to-home association. At the point when the flash is gone, it's difficult to discern whether a relationship merits saving. One of the key signs your relationship is finishing is that you are as of now not defenseless and open with your accomplice. A foundation of cheerful, sound connections is that the two accomplices feel open to being really open to imparting contemplations and insights with each other. We stow away more profound sentiments, from ourselves and from others. When we wind up acting in manners that aren't run-of-the-mill, we could have to do a little soul-looking to get a more clear picture of where our mentality is coming from, says authorized guide Suzanne Degues-White, Ph.D. On the off chance that you're not sharing what's truly at the forefront of your thoughts, it very well may be an indication that you never again need a profound association. Likewise, assuming you've observed that the typical tomfoolery exchange between you is gone, or it's challenging to have drawing-in discussions, your bond could be getting more vulnerable. 2. Actual closeness doesn't speak to you any longer. Sexual longing can influence all over throughout a relationship. In the event that you're in a break and really can't get your sexual coexistence in the groove again, that is not really a sign that the relationship is finished. Degues-White proposes envisioning whenever you first got physically involved with your accomplice and understanding how the memory causes you to feel. In the event that you can get back there in your mind, and you like where your psyche takes you, then you are presumably still physically drawn to your accomplice, she says. In actuality, in the event that your energy has collapsed and you're not generally keen on your accomplice by any stretch of the imagination, that could be an issue. An absence of sexual interest is much of the time an impression of the well-being and expected lifespan of connections. At the point when simply the prospect of your accomplice being close or contacting you personally is unpleasant, it could signal that the relationship is needing an upgrade, or that a separation is possibly close. 3. Settling on anything is difficult. Another indication you're making a beeline for a separation is that you don't agree any longer. While you're managing steady conflicts, it can prompt outrage on the two sides. While battling is tenacious, to the place where there are not very many minutes of quiet, treat it in a serious way, says authorized clinical clinician Andrea Bonnier, Ph.D. Regardless of whether it appears to be weird, not contending enough can likewise be a terrible sign. A few couples become so depleted by battling that they essentially stop. They frequently quit imparting things to one another through and through, and have zero capacity to raise any kind of conflict. When all you can settle on is that you can't settle on anything, it's a lamentable mark of the relationship's future. 4. Another person appears to be really engaging. While it's not unexpected to fantasize about others, wants can be hurtful when they limit the significance of sex with your accomplice. Whether you're focused on your ex, squashing on somebody from work, or yearning for outsiders, now is the right time to reevaluate your sentiments. At the point when your dreams are removing investment from what you ought to enjoy with your accomplice, you're likely intersection a line that you shouldn't, says Degues-White. Sexual dreams about others can be fine in the event that they add to your relationship, however, assuming that they make a world in which your accomplice's job is contracting, now is the ideal time to either put another person in your dreams or start a discussion. On the off chance that your accomplice is at this point not your need in bed, it's the ideal opportunity for a discussion. 5. The trust is no more. Whether your accomplice had an unsanctioned romance or they just don't keep guarantees, trust is difficult to modify. On the off chance that you feel like you can't believe the individual in your corner, a barrier forestalls any significant association. Trust is the underpinning of a serious relationship, and an absence of it hollows out a relationship from within, says Bonnier. To recapture it, the two accomplices need to zero in on trust itself as well as on the foundation of issues which prompted a breakdown in any case. 6. Your objectives don't adjust. One of the hardest disengages to acknowledge in a relationship is when accomplices need various things. Regardless of how profoundly you care for one another, in the event that you're not anticipating similar objectives throughout everyday life, realigning your hopes is troublesome. Once in a while, even connections, with a lot of adoration, can be frustrated by objectives that are entirely unexpected, says Bonnier. Cravings for kids, proficient dreams, or where you might want to reside are normal desires that couples battle with. There can be trust with split the difference, yet without that, the advance notice signs are difficult to overlook, she notes. No matter what's prompting a distinction in your relationship, it's never a simple circumstance to regard yourself as in. In the event that you're still enamored and believe your security should endure, you could look for advising to more readily impart and see one another. All connections have their hindrances, so in the event that you're sure your accomplice is the one, take a stab at tracking down better approaches to move beyond clashes in a solid manner for you both.